Hello, paleontologists and archaeologists. Jurassic Jones here, where I go over the adventures of Indiana Jones and the creatures of Jurassic Park. Now, in this video, I'm going over Indiana Jones fan theory. Theory I really don't like, which is Indy doesn't matter in the part of radars. One, if you watch the movie, it doesn't make any sense. And two, this video will finally disprove it. Time to finally disprove it. People will say it and say this theory until the end of times. Now this theory states how Indy doesn't matter in radars because the Nazis find the Ark, then go to the island and then die. Indy's more or less just a vessel seen through his eyes. But this theory doesn't make any sense, especially if you watch the movie. Now let me explain. Now see, the reason why this theory doesn't make any sense is for multiple reasons. One, if you have seen the movie, it's based. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, haven't seen it, this is gonna be a spoiler video. But I will go over why this theory doesn't make any sense, because it really bothers me as an indie fan. And yeah. Especially when my mom always brings it up, and I always have to get in a debate about how that doesn't make any sense. So the Nazis get the Ark, go to the island, and then die. That's how the theory is. No. Now, this theory might make sense for 5 seconds, or if you haven't watched the movie. Ever. Because this theory doesn't make any sense in any case scenario. Especially, just the movie alone kind of disproves this. So, and just the idea of this theory making any kind of sense and say it changes our outlook on the franchise does not, and doesn't change my outlook on the movie. Not at all. Especially reading how it does nothing. I'm about to get into the points. I just have a lot of problems with this theory. And now may I get into the points why this theory doesn't make any sense. Now the biggest reason why is Marion has the headpiece of the Staff of War. Now, the Staff of War is where they go to the Well of Souls. Well, not the Well of Souls, but under the fountain or whatever to find the location of where the Ark is, and then they get the Ark. The Nazis didn't even have it. They didn't even know where Marion was. This really makes no sense. And then you say, then the Nazis would steal. Oh, yeah, even though the Nazis are the bad guys. And also, fun fact about... So, yeah, they didn't know where the headpiece was. And no fun fact. In the movie, they mentioned that Hitler is impatient. Now, this goes with both historical records and how he was and how Hitler was. So, it makes sense. And also, World War II is about to start in World War II was about to start in only a few years. And you tell me Hitler's it's just gonna allow a few hundred men. I know it's only a few hundred in Egypt to find the Ark. That doesn't make any sense. Especially when I could use them especially for World War II. And also, the Ark's a Jewish artifact. Sure, it has roots to Christianity, but it's a Jewish artifact, and we all know how the Nazis felt about the Jews. And let's say they find the Ark, about sometime, let's just say in the 1950s, and then they all get killed. Then what? So they get killed by God, and then what happens? Oh, easy. Best case scenario, the Ark goes missing again. I have to remind you, that's the best case scenario. And it essentially just becomes the lost Ark of the Covenant again. But a more likely idea is that more Nazis come. Now, I guess you could say, what if the more Nazis come and then open the Ark and then they die? So you tell me Hitler would just send hundreds of Nazis till he can open the Ark of the Covenant and essentially destroying the German army? I don't think so. So, yeah. I feel like they would just take it back to Germany and then that. So, yeah. So, yes, the Nazis would have just taken the Ark back to Germany and then kept it. So they would end up with the most powerful weapon in human resistance, which is not good. So the Ark wouldn't be lost again, but it would definitely change the outlook of World War II. Now, I guess you could say winning out of the Ark is in Germany, then Hitler would open the Ark and then get himself killed. Yeah, about that. Hitler would not open the Ark, because he's too snobby, somewhat. That would seem Spielberg says, and as both somebody who has an interest in history, I also kind of believe that. So, yeah. So the Nazis would just end up with the most powerful weapon in human existence. So, yeah, so Indy does matter in ways. So, yes. So, yes. Indy does matter in ways. I also like to point out how, they like to say, there was a dumb theory about that Indiana Jones is pro-fascist. I will get to that video, and I'm gonna point out the inaccuracies, and how Steven Spielberg is probably puking when somebody says that. That's gonna be a fun video. But, so the Nazis, so either case scenario, either Nazis don't get the Ark and it becomes lost again, or it ends up in their hands and take over the entire world. So the entire world of the Indiana Jones universe would be taken over by authoritarian dictatorship. So yeah. That definitely sounds good. Yeah. Now, I guess you could say letting out to like a artifact attached to the Jewish God, then you could say, well, maybe the Nazis would get destroyed by God or something. Or maybe the Nazis won't have to weaponize it, and then they take over the world. So, yeah. But they don't get it in Raiders. Know why? Because of Indy. So Indy does matter in Raiders, no matter what. This theory also kind of missed the point of Raiders. It's about him getting back in love with Marion. Last Crusade is about him reconnecting with his dad. Dial is about him going on one final adventure. In the Indy movie is always about a story about how a man grows over time. It's been about that since Raiders. No matter what, it's about how a man goes from just a cynical guy to a guy who has a life. Like, Indy's a dramatic story, no matter. Is a general dramatic story. So yeah, and they'll and as much as they're all special. So yeah. Now back to this theory. Now this would mean that we'll, especially when how this means Indy kind of stopped the Nazis from taking over the Earth in World War II. So thanks to Indy in the Indy universe, the Nazis didn't take over the world. Even though, so yeah. But the Indy movies are about a man and how he goes as a person. Now that was all for today. This is Jurassic Jones, and see you on another adventure.